everybody.
Not yet.
Oh, not yet?
All right, people are joining. Go
Hi
ahead.
everybody, how are you tonight? I'm going to show you how to make an Easter egg prop. Right now I have it filled with yellow boas.
Oh, yes, be careful with shutting everything.
Much better than a package of yellow feathers. And I just got this kind. I have no idea what
We got
kind
it from
that is.
AC Moore. And then the actual feather boa, like the actual feathers that shed off, we got from Michael's.
This fits a newborn up to probably 3 years old. I went out tonight. I'm specifically doing it for you guys so you can see what I got.
So much love.
This is really, really sturdy too. I'm going to have this for years and years. And I'll show you first what I purchased. So what I did was, my husband used these. And my husband has big Frankenstein hands. So I didn't think I'd be able to do it. But it's actually pretty easy. I have no idea what they're called. They're just...
They look like shears almost. Yeah.
They were in his toolbox, so they're really good. So what I did was I went to Michael's and I bought what's called plaster wrap. And it comes, it's a big wrap that's plaster and it's almost like mesh, like heavier cheesecloth. And I'm going to be cutting these into strips. And I have a tin. Get a disposable one. You don't want to use a tin that you're going to use for cooking. I did that and I wound up throwing it out. And you don't want to dump this water down the drain because it's plaster of Paris.
I believe the plaster, if that's where you're asking, the aisle that it was down like by the clay and all that stuff. It's on.
Yes.
It's hung. It's like hanging on.
Hanging on the
on
wall.
on the wall.
And it is. It's by the clay.
It's by the clay.
It's by
and,
the paints and everything.
Yeah, by
too.
the spray paint.
And there's two different sizes.
There's like a smaller one, and then there's that size. But I believe. Ooh, I think it's like aisle 42, 43. It's over by the wood. It's like after the wood.
I have to get the feather out of my mouth.
Before the yarn. I mean, before the yarn, after the wood.
Well, each store could be different.
Well, yeah, that's like our store
personally. There's a smaller one that was $6 something, and this was $10, 40% off. Tomorrow, I believe, is starting Sunday.
Yeah, it's 50% off.
Sunday? I'm lost.
Yeah, tomorrow's Sunday.
My husband's working today, so I'm more confused what day it is, and he normally doesn't work on Saturday. 50% off, so you'll only be paying $5 for these. And if this works out well, I may make more. Who knows? And you need warm to hot water. So I got a flower pot. I started cutting it.
I was about to say we didn't get it like that.
Yeah, it's a pretty big flower pot. Last time I got the $10 one. It's a little smaller. This time I got the $15 one because I want to be able to stick a 4-year-old in here. So I'm doing it the same size though because I don't want it up to their chin. So what I did was I just took this. Well, first I actually made a little with the black magic marker. I made a little
show the side that you haven't
template.
cut yet, so it shows the template size.
So what I did is I actually you'd be wise to like drill a hole in it first so you're able to stick this in there, and it cuts really easily. And you want to be careful because you want to first cut above your the template that you drew because it tends to crack. So, and don't worry if you have little sharp edges, because once you start with the strips that I'm going to be cutting.
Ooh, Peaches Crafting is here. They're in the house.
And you can mold your own, mold it yourself. So it doesn't matter if there's little sharp edges. And all I'm doing, if you come close, Kay, when I am cutting, you can see it actually goes beyond, you know, kind of extends where I want to cut. Don't worry about that, because again, you're going to be covering it with the strips. And this is the hardest part. This actually only took me 5 minutes to do the whole thing. I didn't want you to have to sit here and watch me cut it out, because just in case, God forbid, it broke all the way down, I'd feel like an idiot. So I figured, let me just do this. And what I did was I cut strips down so the tension is easier as I'm cutting the roundness of it without it going all the way down. Okay, see, there's some rough parts, and then, you know, over here's a little pointy, and you don't, like I said, you don't have to worry about it. You can break it off if you want, but you don't have to get too anal about it. Over here, to me, it kind of looks like a flower, so I may go a little bit more this way to make it a little bit further apart. And again, I want to cut into it first like this. And then this way. So this way it doesn't break all the way down. All right. I think this is, I may make this a little bit sharper. Because again, to me it looks like a flower petal. And that's how that one turned out. It kind of looked like a flower. Although when the child's sitting in it with a chicken hat on, you kind of get the gist that it's an Easter egg. All right, so that's it. That's it for the cutting. You want to take all the pieces out. And my dining room table obviously is my craft table. The only time you'll see it empty is if we're showing the house because our house is for sale, or if it's a holiday and we all eat together. Because most of the time we either eat on the sofa
or at different times,
on my bed watching TV.
You have some of my DIY stuff too.
Not my whole family, just me. Okay. So what I'm going to do,
we're moving to North Carolina. We're moving to Mooresville, hopefully.
All right. So what I'm going to actually start going around. I don't like to do really big strips because one, it has to fit into here. So I'm going to cut like this, and these are probably going to be the size strips I'm going to be using.
Ooh, ICU Photography is also moving to North Carolina.
Who is?
ICU Photography.
What part of North Carolina?
It's Bella. LOL.
We're going to be looking at in the Lake Norman, Mooresville area. Okay. Also, this
Roxborough.
Okay.
Or, yeah, Borough.
This dries pretty quickly. If you have a laundry room, any warm, really warm room, it'll dry really quick. So by the time I get done doing this whole thing, the first part will already be dry. So what you do is you're going to, can you show this?
Yep, it's in.
You're going to carefully put it in here and just let it get nice and moist. I don't do the bottom, so I'm just gonna start with the side.
This is plaster wrap.
Yes.
It comes in that type of packaging.
Well, show them what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm applying my first piece, and I'm gonna try to bring it all the way to the bottom. It adheres pretty good, but it's still pliable. You're still able to move it. Can everybody see? Okay. As far as the clarity on the phone, can you see? Can you see the what type of material it is? Now you see how it has the structure. It almost looks like I said, cheesecloth. You may not want to get that close, but what you want to do is you wet your hand a little bit, and you go like this, and it gets nice and smooth. And you'll be able. It's going to get all over the place. I'd advise you. I'm wearing a nice sweater. I should really change it, but this stuff comes off. And if you do it nice and smooth, you won't even have to paint it. Can you see it's getting nice and smooth on the phone? Mm-hmm. Just somebody let me know. And you can see how it's all almost like clay. And then I'm going to put another piece in.
Yeah, we're getting it seems like people are seeing it fine. So.
And what I'm going to do is and I have a ceiling fan going too, so it's going to dry rather quickly. I'm going to do 2 layers of this. It'll be interesting to show you how I do around here, though. So I have my second piece already.
Of course, the dogs are playing right now.
As long as they're not barking, it's okay. My second piece, Kiki, you may want to get on this side.
Yep, I'm sitting on the chair.
And again, I'm going to bring it a little lower, and you can overlap. Overlapping's fine.
We got the flower pot from
Big
Lots.
But you can get it at Walmart.
The size. What would you approximate?
This wasn't the largest. It may have it on the bottom. But again, I'm going to wet my hand, and I'm going to go like this, and make it nice and smooth. All right. Oh, my stupid dogs. Just ran into one of my props that I bought.
Girls, stop.
They're like children. They're quiet most of the day, but as soon as you go on the telephone or
Periscope or someone comes or...
So you see how nice and smooth it gets? So I already have half of the lower part done already. And I think I'm going to have one more strip possibly in the first part of the lower. I mean, I could have did larger strips, but if you see, it fits perfect in this $2. Well, I got 2 trays for $2. So in all actuality, this whole thing put together was definitely under $30. And that's including the pan. So again, I'm going to overlap. I'm going to bring this down like this. And I think these go for like $100 when people sell them. And I know everybody does it different ways, but if I could save $100, the only place I'll really spend money on for props, because there's no way in heck that I can make props the way they make props, and that's PJ's Props. I got a lot of great things from them. Wooden props.
Wood says PJ's Crafting.
That's
LOL.
right. Wood props that I just bought a little newborn desk. I'm hoping I can fit a toddler in there somehow. I bought a nice big boat.
You bought the table, your desk. You got.
Yeah, the little desk. But you see how I'm smoothing it out? You just make sure there's lots of water on your hands. You're gonna make a mess. Pretend like you're in kindergarten again.
Yeah, someone said this reminds them of elementary.
Yeah. And just nice and smooth. And again, I'm gonna do the one side, and then I'll start the top for you to show you how I do that. And this is basically it. You're gonna do 2 layers, like I said. There's no sanding required. There's no painting, because it dries like the color of an eggshell.
Yeah, it dries exactly like that. There's no painting, no sanding, no nothing. It's all blending the plaster with your hands, with wet hands.
All you need is a dining room table that you don't hardly ever use, and you're good to go.
I think the fuzzy head.
And I was a little impressed with myself that I was able to cut this, because when I saw my husband doing the first one, he was struggling. So I'm like, are you? I thought it was going to be really difficult, and it turns out that it was great.
And it will cover the jagged ends. It'll just go on the inside too.
Yep, I'm going to show them that. Yep. And when you do 2 layers, sometimes it depends on how jagged the edges are. I may even put 3 or 4 layers, but I do thinner strips. And you'll see, see, I just did that. See how easy that was? And once this casting hardens, let me just get paper towel.
Yeah, while you're doing that. What is in the egg is 2 different types of feather boas. One is just like, I don't even know how to describe them. One's
a regular feather boa.
One regular, and then the other one's just like...
You know what else is in the egg? An Easter egg. Yeah, this is a funky boa that I found at Joann's.
No,
so AC Moore.
Yeah.
I liked it because it gave this one a different color.
It's texture.
And a different texture. And when the child sits in it, I like to have them like kind of hanging out. But like I said, you can't even bend this plastic. It is hard as a rock.
Yeah, some Bella says more like fur than feathers.
Right.
Which I can, yeah,
which is
it's
nice.
more of a fur
like
feather. Yeah,
all right, so I'm not going to go the big pieces on this because I want to be able to conform it easier. So I'm going to take my scissor.
Right here.
And I'm going to cut this in half. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect because you can smooth it out. Even if you find you're getting wrinkles as you're putting this on, you just put more water in your hand and you just smooth it. So I have my first small piece, and you just kind of go like this. And eventually I'll do the whole inside as well. See, I want it more overlapping here. And you see how there's all wrinkles and stuff? You just kind of pull it like that. Pull it a little on this side. And like I said, again, doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to get water on my hand and smooth. You want to get all of the, I guess it's the plaster of Paris. And you can see, you know, there's a few sharp spots up there, and I'll show you what to do. It's real easy because you want to remember where those sharp spots are too, so you want to kind of do it right away.
What are you doing? I know you save these, but are you posting on YouTube after?
Yes, I'm going to be posting it on my Facebook page as well as my YouTube channel. So this way,
there could be replays of
yeah,
it.
you can replay it.
There will also be I guess the 24-hour replay, whatever Periscope does. We'll leave the replay.
I think that's 72 hours.
Message Bella, ICU Photography. Message them the link when it's
Yeah,
That's
so
up.
I mean, you
Yeah.
can already feel it getting nice and smooth here, and I'll just keep on putting, more up here if I feel it needs more. But that's, that's the first one. I should have cut some in advance because it gets to be a sticky mess. And be careful as you're cutting this too, if anything is laying around, because you can see the powder coming off. Me, when I do crafts, everything gets dirty.
Except the yarn.
Especially
The yarn
when
is
we
really good.
paint. Well, when we do crochet, we're usually in bed doing that.
What's your YouTube channel? Is it Joe Vega Photography?
It's Joe Vega Photography.
Like everything else, yeah.
Yep.
It's Joe Vega Photography.
Yep, and again, you just bring it down so it meets this. It doesn't matter the inside because the inside will get separate strips. And you just, again, you gotta smooth it out. You have to put water on your hands again. And
It's kind of like making rice balls. Water is very important.
And it doesn't even matter even if you don't press down all the way to this, which with this I won't want you because it's kind of sharp here. Even if you just go like this is going to harden again. It's going to harden like a rock, and you can see how smooth it's getting.
It's blending.
And this is only the first layer, like I said. Oh, the second layer. After this layer dries, and the second layer, I do swirls.
Yeah, it's giving more texture.
I get real creative.
She gets crazy.
But see how easy it is? Give me some hearts if you think it's easy. Show me some love. See? Again. Bring it on. And you notice how I'm spreading it, but it's not that smooth. But once I put my hand in water and I bring that water over there, it's magic. Because you have to get that plaster of Paris nice and moist. And then it just becomes
Pliable, more or
a
less.
moist mess, and I feel it dripping down my arm. Any questions? My second layer, I probably won't do the second layer until tomorrow because I want this to dry nice and hot. I'll put it in my laundry room, and when I wake up tomorrow, it'll be nice and dry, and then I have a session at 11, and right after the session, I'll work on the next layer. And if you can see the inside, I'm just kind of trying to make it nice and smooth too. I don't want it to dry without a lot of moisture on it because I want to work up that that plaster of Paris that's in there. Because if I put a second layer on and the plaster of Paris isn't really adhering to the first layer, see this is almost hard already. It's almost dry.
Here we also have the window open
And eventually, I won't do down. I don't think I did all the way. Actually, I did. I did do the bottom.
Oh,
only because if all the feathers were out, I want the parents to see that it's nice and
safe.
Yeah, there's nothing that the kids are sitting on other than the plaster of Paris. But yeah, it's nice and smooth. So this is basically it. I'll be doing this for the next maybe 20 minutes.
I would say probably 20 minutes.
How many of you are going to try to make one?
I think Daddy just got home. I heard the car door slam.
Anybody going to attempt to make one?
Well, you getting
Yes,
hearts?
Oh, I want to hear some people say, yeah, I'm going to try to make it.
Or yeah, I'm gonna try and do something.
You know what?
Night Top 13 said me with 3 hearts.
You know what I might do?
What might you do, Mom? Tell me.
Maybe I'll do a contest on my page for somebody to win this, but they'd have to pay for shipping and handling. Because I have no idea how much it would
PJ
cost.
said, I tried once with wood, lol, crying laughing face emoji.
What? Oh, try an egg?
Yeah, with wood.
Oh my goodness.
Which that one I can understand could be quite potentially
Well,
hard.
tell her, you know what
Well,
you can do?
you can tell her right. She's
That's right. I can tell you
her.
that you can make one now like this and add it to your propaganda.
I will send
not your
pics
prop.
privately.
Okay. All right.
It's an abomination.
Something we're going to be able to laugh at together?
Probably.
It's okay. Did you? Yesterday I posted on my Facebook page. I did a newborn baby session, the one that I did the desk with, and on this poor baby's head, I put a hat with bunny ears, and the little bunny rabbit that I made. The ears, I swear to God,
Kept flopping down.
were longer than this, and this little baby, he was 6.5 pound baby, and the ears were just sticking straight out.
And they kept flopping in his face, the poor baby.
So things like that, just should not be made public.
You should have.
But the mom liked it, but...
What you should have done, I'd give you a word of advice with that. If you want to make it so it actually stands, take cardboard,
I
would say like cardboard, like milk carton, cut it in the shape, and then cover it with more felt, just so it,
So, does anybody have any questions?
sits up straight.
No questions at all? Because I will let everybody go and
Enjoy their evening.
enjoy your evening, so you're not stuck with me making this Easter egg.
Yeah, because this is the general.
Yeah, it is. This is all you have to do. And what I'll do, when I post the video on my page itself, I will post a photo of the finished product. But it's gonna look not just like that.
It's gonna look similar.
Yeah, it's gonna look similar. But make sure there's no jagged edges up on top. But this is basically it. You got it?
Get it, got it good.
No questions? You guys are awfully quiet.
No, people are sending hearts, and PJ said have a good night.
All right, guys, you have a good night too. And I'll post the video once it's off of Periscope, I'll post it on my YouTube and my Facebook page. Everybody have a good night. Bye.